welcome. All right, so I don't know about you, but I think the big question that everybody asks almost ad nauseum is, are you better off now than you were 3 or 4 years ago? And the answer is an unequivocal hell no. So, interest rates are up, housing prices have soared, gas is high, everything is higher. I can't afford to do the fun things I used to do with my family, so everybody's stressed out. There is no new car for the 16-year-old because I can't afford the one I have. So this isn't fun, Scott.
No, it's not fun. And, regardless of whether you like President Trump or not, bottom line is people are going to be looking at a couple of things. First of all, immigration is, as we know, is number one. It's not only affecting every state in our country, but it's addressing and it's perpetuating a lot of the things that you're talking about. Budgets are out of control. I know in Massachusetts they're spending $1 billion on people that are here illegally. Every state is pretty much the same. You have obviously the fentanyl, the people that are coming in. We don't know who they are, where they're going, and then the economy. And people are going when they go to the ballot box, regardless of what Joe Biden says, and regardless of what the Democrats and how they want to spin it. You kind of nailed it in your intro. Listen, are you better off? And the answer is clearly no. Bidenomics is a joke. We're at a $34 trillion national debt. When I was there, it was $9 trillion. And, we borrowed, $1.2 trillion the first 6 months of the year to pay that debt. And you look at the things, the interest rates, obviously your kids aren't buying their own home. Inflation, I just went grocery shopping. I didn't buy a lot of the things that I traditionally buy, gas, you name it. And that's what they're going to look at. And they're going to reflect back 4 years ago and reflect as to what's happening now.
But are they? Because we have some people who are so hell-bent on hating Trump that they will vote this crap back in again and live like peasants just in order to not have the guy they don't like. I mean, the big bad orange man isn't what they say he is, but they have pounded it into their heads that he is Sleepy Hitler, and people just will not listen beyond the border of their party. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, you see that a lot, certainly. But remember, 78% of the people in America don't want either one of them. Yeah. and then 6 out of 10, which is of Joe Biden's previous supporters, think he's too old. And clearly he is. Listen, I know Joe Biden. I serve with him. I like him. But, quite frankly, and if he does well, the country's doing well, and he's not doing well. And the country's not doing well. We could be doing tremendously better. And, yeah, listen, you have a choice, and that's fine. There's also a third party. You got Kennedy out there. You got Cornel West, if you really don't like either one of them. But people are going to look at the economy. They're going to look at their pocketbooks and wallets, and they're going to say, yeah, I really don't like the guy, but I'll tell you what, our border was secure. Our station in the world was good. We weren't in 2 wars. The interest rates were down, and my kids weren't living at home. Gas prices were $1.82 with your BJ's or Costco card. I'm done. So that's the key question. Will those folks who just hate him so much put that in front of the well-being of our country and their families, quite frankly?
Yeah, well, the decisions they make that are invisible to the general public are a big deal. The border is the number one problem. I don't understand why we're dishing out so much money for people who are not supposed to be here because they came in the back door instead of the front. I don't get that. But we've got faceless, they're not faceless, but people don't know their names, like the FTC, the EPA. We've got the national education. We've got all of these different places that are taking money, using money, making regulations, telling us what we can and can't do. And we've got these lightning rod things happening all across the country that everybody's upset with, and they don't know who to blame. And the bottom line is a lot of these people are appointed by the president. We need to look further than just what's right in front of our nose.
Well, that's a great point. People may think that, Joe Biden's fumbling and bumbling and tripping and not knowing where he's going, which is absolutely true. But behind the scenes, you have a very sharp group of young people, ideologues, people who are basically idealistic and want to change the very nature and direction of our country, the way it's looked at and the way we, basically push out our values. And you have Lena Khan, who's the head of the FTC, you referenced that, who's basically taking a faceless agency and weaponized it, going after Amazon and all of the big high-tech companies. So you won't have Google Maps to go pick up your babysitter. You don't know where to go. You're not going to be able to download your app photos of your grandchildren on the apps. They want to basically take those industries and break them up just because they say they're too big. Well, listen, they're also basically cutting at the knees our innovators in our high-tech industry is the number one industry in the world, and China wants it. And they will. This what she's trying to do, working with the EU of all people, of all entities, to basically create a backdoor, as you said, to allow for access to all of our high tech and innovation. And it's outrageous. So you have these unelected, unaccountable bureaucrats who are circumventing the will of Congress, the laws that we know and respect and understand, and putting in so many roadblocks that it's just very similar to Obama. And when Trump came in, whether you like him or not, for every one new reg, you got rid of like 5 or 6 or 8 or something like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm one of those people who was a weird kid who was interested in politics, even at a very young age. And I even liked some of the Democrats and even voted for some of the Democrats because they truly were for the working man. That party is metamorphosized into something unrecognizable at this point, and they stand for things they never would have stood for long ago. So these third-party candidates are going to split votes, and that always goes to the benefit of the Democrats. Always. Because people might not like Trump, they might not like Biden, but when you start splitting the votes away to third-party candidates, it always goes to the blues. So that's unfortunate because I don't want that to happen because Biden in there again, we're toast, Scott. We're toasted. We're toast.
Well, I think Cornel West will take from Biden, and he's going to probably get on maybe 1, maybe 2 ballots. RFK, listen, I know him. He asked me to be his vice president. Obviously, I turned him down. I have a lot of respect for what he's trying to do. I don't agree with him on a lot, obviously. But, he's got the Kennedy name, and you see the Kennedy family's coming out for Biden because they're very, very, very nervous about him. He's going to have ballot access. He will get on probably all the battleground states, and Biden's having trouble getting on Ohio's because, they've changed and manipulated and went through machinations to, get him, elected and obviously get the convention, move it ahead of, the times that are required. And so he's got some real problems. Does it affect Trump or Biden? It really depends. I think Cornel West obviously affects Biden big time. And then I think RFK Jr., it really depends. I think the young people are definitely going for RFK Jr. over Biden, and does that affect Trump or Biden? Well, they were going for Biden anyway. And then a lot of the Nikki Haley, never Trumpers, anti-Trumpers, they may go for RFK, and it will affect him. So I think it really hurts Biden a little bit more than Trump. And I've thought a lot about this, and I know them all. I had my backyard barbecues. We had all the presidential candidates once again. We had 2,000 people for RFK Jr. We had 550 for Ramaswamy, 425 for Nikki Haley. And, anyone would make a better president than Joe Biden, that's for sure.
I would make a very good president, but you do not want my finger.
Your child would make a better president.
Yeah,
Come on.
You don't want my finger on a button that's aimed at any one of these bad players right now because it would be like, that would be it. Yeah, next. But here's the thing. All respect to you and the confidence that RFK has in you to ask you to join him. But as soon as a man starts taking his shirt off and trying to show how manly he is in his upper age, you lose me because I'm not trying to have a president who is like Putin and other leaders around the world who think that they have to show off how manly they are in order to get elected. I realize the sentiment behind it was I'm in shape, I'm not an idiot, I'm not bumbling, I'm not fumbling, I'm strong. I get all that. I can ride my bike without falling off, walk up a flight of steps. That makes sense to me. But once they start doing that, there's a buffoonery attached to that I just cannot get down with.
Yeah, listen, that's certainly, your choice and your prerogative, and I don't disagree, but there are clear distinctions between Biden and RFK Jr. for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, obviously spur of the moment, you get kind of do stupid things. I've done them, and I think we all have.
I'm never taking my shirt off to get a vote.
Well,
Let me just tell you that.
Yeah. God bless you. And Listen, I'm going to vote, obviously, for President Trump. And, I served as his ambassador to New Zealand for 4 years. I was the longest-serving ambassador, aside from Israel. And in the Indo-Pacific, the first guy out the door kicking the crap out of China every day for all the stuff that they're doing in the Indo-Pacific, ASEAN region to basically manipulate the currency, over-leveraging Pacific Island nations, building and militarizing islands, not respecting the law of the air and sea that has been in place for centuries. Yeah, we need strong leaders, and what I think and I hope President Trump will do when he's elected is surround himself with good people who care deeply about the direction of this country.
He will. And his list of vice president hopefuls are amazing. I'm praying to God he picks Kristi Noem, but we'll see what happens.
Well, that's who I think it's going to be, but I've been on record for that for a while. So,
man,
we'll see.
She's so badass. And I'm from North Dakota, so I've actually been in her presence, and I'm telling you, she would be, she is Trump with boobs. She is just amazing. I love her.
Yeah, she's pretty intense, that's for sure. Yeah, listen, anyone they pick, once again, will certainly be better than Kamala Harris, who's like, she's going to laugh away, and, she's trying to laugh away through her job. It's ridiculous.
I am so embarrassed that she's our first female vice president. I cannot tell you with enough emphatic words how embarrassed I am that that's our historical figure. But anyway, Scott, I know as a former senator and chair of Competitive Coalition, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out life is not better under Biden as far as us being able to afford to just do the essentials. But things are really starting to get out of control right now. And 4 more years of him would be a death sentence for this country as a superpower. So in the last minute that we have left, how do you want to push that home?
Well, I think people just need to, if they want to just hold their nose, whatever they need to do, just look at what it was like over 3 years ago and look at what it's like now and imagine what it's going to be like, in 5 more years. First of all, he won't make it. I don't think he's going to make it through this. But imagine Kamala Harris as the vice president. So, whether you like President Trump or not, bottom line is we were absolutely, positively so much better off that it's a no-brainer. And I'm thinking about my great-great-grandchildren. I'm thinking about our economy, our border, our station in the world, the respect by our allies and fear by our foes. Those are the things that concern me. I don't care if he says mean things and tweets inappropriately. I don't care.
Yeah.
I want a leader. I want a leader.
We just got to get him out of the courtroom with this trumped-up crap that they have going on. Well, Scott, where do people learn more about your group and what you're doing?
Well, you can go right on Twitter X and look up Competitiveness Coalition. You can reach me at Sen Scott Brown, and you can follow my band, Scott Brown and the Diplomats, where we perform all over New England. Just opened up for Skid Row, so we're rocking pretty hard.
That's awesome. Keep rocking in the free world, buddy.
Amen.
I'll talk to you later.
Right on, bye.
Okay, bye.